Iko connected huku.
Welcome to TV47 Sports Extravaganza. My name is Dan Kamtua. Today in the Sports Extravaganza, we'll be talking matters motorsport. We'll be speaking with the motorsport enthusiast. We have the experience, well-informed when it comes to this field of sports. Apart from that, we also have the question of the day. Remember, being a Sports Extravaganza, this is a sports bouquet. Tutakuwa tunaongelea mambo mengi. Remember, tutaongelea motorsport, ingia Safari Rally, tuangalie what is happening in the world of Safari Rally. We'll also be checking what is happening in Europe as far as football is concerned. Tomorrow we have the biggest match in the world. Speaking of the biggest match in the world, it's Arsenal playing against Manchester City. Ni game ambayo inaweza decide who will be going home with the EPL title. But before that, I have the crew behind me. Kikosi kimepiga kambi. Only one lady in that crew, and sitaki niwataje, nataka kila mtu ajiintroduce vizuri tu, kila mtu ajipigie debe vile inafaa. Nianze na wewe uko ready. Sababu ni kuna tarehe moja Valentine's imeingia, umeamua kuja studio na Red. Umeamua kuja studio na Red. Ajipige intro.
Yeah, so my name is Eric Moturi. I'm a PBAC Nyumba Kumi chair for Karen Langata. Nyumba Kumi, yes.
Nyumba Kumi, utakuwa unanieleza kuhusu what is Nyumba Kumi. And then there's a man who looks at the boss himself in the house. Jipige intro.
My name is David Baya, but everyone knows me as Chua. I'm one of the trustees for the Private Bikers Association of Kenya. And Nyumba Kumi huyu ndio boss wangu kwa Nyumba Kumi sasa.
Huyu ndio boss?
Huyu ndio boss wangu Nyumba Kumi.
And then umeamua leo ni white.
Leo ni white. No. Sam Gadho is the name, commonly referred to as Big Man. Chairman, Thika Road Nyumba Kumi. Yeah.
You're wearing a pink. Kuna movie fulani inajiita Pink Ladies. Sijui. Siko unajua. Hujui.
Najua Pink Panther.
By the scene nitakuwa nakwambia kuhusu hiyo movie. Lakini for the viewer, tukujue.
So my name is Amanda Mutebi, but most people call me Mandy, and I'm the chair lady of Ngong Hills Nyumba Kumi. Yes. And
the show, my dear viewer back at home, the show is all about Private Bikers Association of Kenya. They will be telling us what does this Private Bikers Association of Kenya mean, watueleze kwa ndani, pia mimi sijui, lakini pia ukiwa nyumbani kama una swali kuhusu what is happening here, unaweza pia kuuliza. Remember, namba ya WhatsApp itakuwa inakuwa hapo chini. You tell us unataka kusikia nini, sababu for me I thought bike zote zinaitwa motorsport, sio zinaitwa superbike, sio mimi peke yangu, because back at home nikiambia watu I'm going to buy or I'm going to purchase a bike, waniambia bike gani, naambia motorsport, bora isikue ni ile nduthi. But tuko before show ianze, someone was telling me there's a different types of bikes, so watakuwa natuambia. But before niambie hiyo, I'm going to start with let me start with you and give us a brief information about this Private Bikers Association of Kenya.
So Private Bikers Association of Kenya, which is PBAC, was formed, when was this?
2013.
2013,
yeah.
And it focuses on advocacy around private bikers and their safety training. There's a whole aspect of it. I think Chua would be the best one, being the trustee. He can take us through.
Yeah, sure.
So basically how PBAC started, before it was called Motorcycle Kenya. Motorcycle Kenya was a CBO, and it was formed to solve a problem we had at that time. There was a time tulikuwa Adams Arcade, there was a problem, some altercation hapo na mall flani. So we sat around as bikers and decided hatuwezi nyanyaswa hivi. So we volunteered, a couple of us, started the CBO, which ran for about 5 years. Then now we realized we want to negotiate with the government. CBO haitaskika. CBO ilikuwa Nairobi too. So we had to form the association, Private Bikers Association of Kenya. So now if there are any legislations being done in the country, we represent the private bikers. And we work on 4 pillars: legislative, association, safety and training. Under legislative ni mambo na law, anything legal, there's someone who handles that. Association is now where we have these things called nyumba kumis. Each road in Nairobi has a nyumba kumi. Watu wa Thika Road wako na yao, Mombasa Road, Langata, like that. So we have about 14 nyumba kumis in Nairobi. And it extends all the way to Kitengela. Then out of Nairobi, we have regions. Mount Kenya region, Eastern region, the Western region, na Rift Valley region. Then we also have safety and training. Under safety, we have people who are in charge of that pillar to ensure every private biker adheres to the rules of PBAC. You must have a helmet, you must be wearing a glove, and proper gear. So all gear all the time. Kila wakati una ride bike, uko na gears vizuri. Then training, we have our trainers who have undergone training through NTSA, some have gone out of the country. They train our bikers. Si ati unaenda driving school, the kawaida driving schools za boda. We have our trainers who will take you through intensive training.
Yeah.
So before you join the community, lazima uende through training.
And tukiendelea pia, I want to know the types of bikes, and the man who was telling me usiite superbike.
Do this or do
superbike. This is the man who was telling me superbike.
Yote sio
Maybe you
order.
can tueleze types of bikes.
We have 5 categories of bikes.
Yeah.
They're commonly there. Sometimes it's normally forgotten. We have the scooters. They are a whole category by themselves. Scooters. They are under private bikers still.
Yes.
Yeah, because they are not boda, because the 2 major categories are private bikers and public, which public ni boda basically. Yeah, for commercial. But now when it comes to private bikers, we have the scooters. We have super bikes. Ideally hizo ndio ziko category ya kurace. So most of when it comes to races, those are the ones that are commonly used for that aspect. We have adventure bikes. Adventure bikes is an example is this, the the BMW. Ideally, they are on road and off road. So, and then we have a complete category that is off road. Hiyo kazi yake ni kwenda kwa mawe na nini. It has very proper springs and all, but it is not bulky as such.
So like the one that it's on the screen there. Ini?
That one is it falls under the category of super bike, but this is a naked. So it's like under each category they are nika familiar tu inaenda tu ikibreak into a number of them. So under superbike we have this, we have MotoGP, we have this is the naked street. So all of them fall under the superbike category ideally. Yeah.
And this one?
This one is an adventure.
Yeah. Hii ndo unaweza piga round nayo milimani wapi na wapi.
Hii sasa ndio inaweza toka kwa barabara. It has almost like a 50-50 concept. So this almost has the same engine with ile. Now there is another one called Sport Cruiser kama ile ya Makarao. They are Escort. Hiyo ni purely barabara, haiwezi kanyaga off road. Now this one can handle the road and off road. That's the adventure. So, and then now we have the cruisers, of which under cruisers, they are broken down. In fact, we have one outside. Under cruisers, we have a number of them again. And one of the common example is wale wasawa monkey bus zinakuwaga huku. Hizo ni cruisers. Same way, the za Makarao, hizo ni cruisers pia, but those are called sport cruisers.
So hiyo siwezi enda nayo ushago. Huko mahali kuna barabara, hakuna barabara. Ni balaa.
Utaenda lakini hauna haraka by the way. Hapo ni 80 tu pole pole.
And speaking to let me speak to Amanda. Yes. Being in this industry of bikes and this industry of motorsport, yes. Personally, what does it mean to you as a lady?
Okay, great question. First of all, I think it's very exhilarating. I say kila wakati ukivaa helmet, you become a different person. Let's say you had such a bad day, and then once you're on the bike, it changes your mood. So for me, I think it has been an eye-opener, not only to learn a new skill, but also to network, and also being here, you see, that's a good opportunity. Yeah.
And Bonachia David, you are telling me, you know, tukiwa tuko kando, this guy came like few years ago, lakini saizi, he has something that tunaweza jivunia, something you can say we are proud of him. How long does it take for me to be part of this, for me to have that confidence to hit the road?
Are you passionate about biking?
I'm planning to have one, so
Are you passionate? You're passionate.
Very.
It can take you 2 weeks. With proper training, with our trainers, if you have the love for bikes, you'll realize once you get into this biking community, it's a whole different ball game. Huyu ni chairman wenu. He will introduce you to the nyumba kumi. If you're not confident with your riding, there are some nyumba kumis that have what we call confidence rides. So if you start riding, leo ni Saturday, umeenda training yako unaanza kuride Monday, there are people who will come pick you up from your house, escort you to your office. In the evening they come for you and escort you back home. Mpaka ukuwe na hiyo confidence. So that's how close knit a family we are.
And then let me to Erico. Let me call you. Let me call you Erico. Ukiangalia zile movies za Kenya or those movies based in Kenya, story ya Kenya, bikers and everything, there's that crime, misconception, a lot of misconception something to do with bikes. Kwanza, the first time I saw a movie ya Kenya, nikaona there's a crew ya wasee and then this inaweza fanya hata mtu ogope. There's a lot of misconception when it comes to bikers.
I think it's one of them is we are indisciplined. Actually, we have the most disciplined out of all the people who are using the road, all road users, because of safety purposes. There's no way I can be on the road and I'm not safe. So one, the other misconception, like you said, the look that Hollywood and every other movie has done is we look like we are thugs. Like when you hear a club, you think it's a club of thugs. But for us, it's a totally different ball game. So we are individuals on our own. We use our motorcycle to commute. We have different levels of people doing different things with the bike. Some are using for commute, some are for weekend. So unaona hiyo story asijui we are a gang. It makes sense kama I'm using it to go to work.
Okay. Tuongele, mbona we have 3 ladies. We have one lady.
Gentlemen.
One lady, three gentlemen. Future of ladies in this sport. Future of ladies in the different nyumba kumis of in different nyumba kumis.
So well, I can say there's been a surge, a serious surge, if I'm not wrong. You see, we've not. They take control nowadays. There's several associations. There's Women Bikers Association, WIBA. There's ISH. There's several other associations. Piki Dada. Yeah, yes. So there's several others. So I think in the past 5 years or so, 5-6 years, there's been a surge of women bikers. Hao ndo hata wana roho kutuliko. So wewe hujaingia kwa biking?
Nakuja.
I can tell you as per Sunday, last Sunday, when we had our Ubuntu ride, I saw a lady already, her first ride, and a ride with us. And she went up to Ngong, and I'm scared, but she's not. That's what I mean. So ladies have definitely taken over biking. Unless
unatingisha kichwa, you're noticing something. You want to add something to that?
Like for example, last year we did a number of activities around centered around the ladies, and I remember we were doing it. It was called more like the garage day out, the workshop day out, for the ladies exclusive. So what we have been doing in our community is we realized many are places where ladies are kind of pushed away from whether it's a sport or it's a community. So on our end, we decided to do it on the flip side. So we do a number of activities that are lady-centered, but we have the Jamas supporting the cause. So one, we do, for example, at Thika Road, Nyumba Kumi, when we do the workshop for ladies, we invite the other nyumba kumis as well, and what we do is, as the ladies are being trained how to change the clutch cable, how to change your battery, how to check oil, how to check all those things, the Jamas are doing nyama choma. And then now when the class is done, we get to commune together. We enjoy our food together. And then also we also been doing confidence ride now, the longer rides, like county to counties with the ladies. So it's a ladies ride, but the Jamas are marshalling. So that gives them the confidence that for some of them who don't have the confidence. But I can tell you for free, last year and this year we are seeing a lot of change. Where before we were doing this for them, you know, like trying to get them to gain confidence. Right now, even one of the ladies who's doing proper off-roading is a lady. She's called Christine. I cannot compete with her. I have an adventure bike, but the things that she'll do on huko kwa barabara, like they are I would say, for me, once a lady takes up something and is passionate about it, to the end.
Wamesifu sana. They are saying when such events happens, wanaume wako nyama choma. I mean, wako kitchen, nyinyi mko kazi, ama mnafanya one two technically. Add something.
Yeah, so I actually wanted to say, even when we were coming, Chua was blocking the roads for me. Eric was stopping to see that I'm not behind, because you know, us ladies sometimes we want to be very careful. Actually, statistically, ladies are more careful, drivers and riders. So we'll take our sweet time. Wako na haraka, but they were so patient with me. And that to me was already, it felt like I'm accepted, and I enjoyed my ride here. Yeah.
Bwana David, let's talk about the future. What do you have?
The future of the biking ama women biking? Lady biker.
Lady biking.
From my memory, 2014, 2015, we could count the number of lady bikers we had in our clubs, in our nyumba kumis. We trained them. They are the ones who trained others, and they became leaders. So as it is right now, we have rides in the year which are purely for ladies. Wanafanyanga cancer ride yao, wanawake peke yao. Wanaume tuko na something called DGR, Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Hiyo siku tuna ride na masuti. Purely for men, we go and discuss mental health.
Sipotokea na suti?
Nikawa tu, bora ukae sharp.
Okay.
So where we were 10 years ago and where we are now, so 2015, 2025, it has blown up. Wacha niseme ukweli. What we had envisioned then and what is there now is a whole different ball game. And probably another 10 years from now is going to be another crazy thing. Because the people we mentor are looking forward to biking. They look at us, they look at Eric, and I'm like, nikimaliza form 4, I want to be like this guy. Like for me, I've been training my son since he was 7. He's now 15 and he can ride. So anasema future yake ni sport bike, lakini bado namsukuma adventure. The same thing for the ladies. The more you see ladies on the road, other ladies are like, I want to join that community. So I think if we get more exposure, it will be a whole different ball game. The challenge we have is the borders. Si ati ni wabaya. Lakini rules and regulations. Rules and regulations.
Because ukitembea when someone ako kwa barabara, they usually say hawa watu wa boda bana. Kwani walienda shule moja?
Ndio hiyo sasa. But what we are trying to do as an association, as nyumba kumis, is unashikilia mkono ya boda moja. He has someone who does for him his courier services, change him. He has someone who does for him his delivery, so you change one person at a time. And in like another 3 or 4 years, all bodas will be respecting the road users. And you know, they aspire to be like we, the private bikers. So ukiwashikilia mkono na mapema, there are times we do CSR around other counties and go and talk to the bodas. They see these big bikes, they get inspired. We have some private bikers who are boda guys then. And they saw the difference and now they joined us. So with time, it's going to be a whole different thing.
In fact, there's something I can add on the
Sure.
For example, there is one nyumba kumi called Lower Kabete nyumba kumi. At Lower Kabete, the road, before you get a boda accident, it takes a while. Because what they did is, on that end, they gathered all the boda riders as the private bikers, and then they got gear. So for example, I have a helmet, you have a shoe that doesn't fit you anymore, because the gear is expensive. By the way, for free, the gear for private for safety is very expensive. So guys donated their gear, and then we gave them to the boda guys. Right now, if you stop and you're like, dude, please use your indicator. Keep left, you know. Don't overtake on the left-hand side of the road, you know. Like half the time, they will listen to you because there is something that you have invested in their safety. So that is something that we are doing now, and we are picking up with all the other nyumba kumis. Where imagine if all the roads we did such a drive and then educated them, because half the time Wasa wa bodaboda shida yukuwa, mimi nilianza kufanya kazi, nikapata bike, nikaita brother yangu hapa, nikamwambia kuja usiku. By the way, train usiku. Usiku saa zenye wasea wako kwa mtaa. So wana trainia 1 week uko sawa, enda kwa barabara. So again, something else that we've been working with some of our partners is we get to figure out, can you lower the amount that you charge to for driving license? And then we get a number of boda guys, they start that course, and then kuna lipa pole pole. Half the time, you see, when you change one person at a time, it will end up translating into a bigger impact because one accident takes quite a number of people with them. Even if hata ni hiyo familia, because kuna the people affected and beyond that person who has been involved in the accident. So that forms part of the future that we are looking at for the future of the private bikers as well. And also, there is something else that we are pushing. You see, for cars, when you're driving, so as we call the drivers cages. So when you're driving, cage. You because you're in a cage.
Oh, it's a cage.
Yeah.
You say cages, you know.
You know. Tunasikia fresh air na hewa, you know. So what when you look at it, there is a private and the public. Hata kwa taxi, there is a public when imeingia kwa Uber or some of those apps, ndio. But when you are with your own car, that is private. But we need the same to apply also for our bikers. Because I am not a boda person. But we are treated equally. Bike ni bike Kenya.
Wanamsako ni sisi.
Kila
also
mtu.
involved in
hata kama wewe umevaa gear yote na everything.
Kuna venye barabara you guys a lot of show kama kameenda bana.
Kila mtu ama ni wengine.
Zote zenye nimepata mimi sema like
I think
80%.
The same way.
Yeah.
Zile garis, I'll not mention brands of cars, but
yes,
you know, the young boys with their cars. It's the same thing.
Ni kama kusema.
Kila mtu hiyo gari anafanya hivi.
Okay.
We have those guys, there are people like that. They are young, they have the thrill. And sometimes it is the people who ask for that. Ebu finyo bike kidogo. Anywhere we go.
That's what everyone, that's what they ask for.
Wanauliza ebu finya kidogo tusikie, but not every time.
Yeah. I mean, the question that comes up when it comes to motorcycles like this, like right now nikiwe fuel, when I was coming here, the first question I was asked was, unafika Kisumu in how long? Why? Why do you ask me that? What's the idea? Yes, I can take this amount of time. I won't mention, but generally it's not the idea. When I'm riding the bike, my idea is not at nifike Kisumu in 4 hours, in 2 hours. Because I don't want to also, the safety when you're going at that speeds is not, it doesn't make sense for some of us.
In fact, that is a misconception.
Yes, it's a misconception.
People always ask, Mombasa ni masaa mangapi? Let me tell you the truth.
Ni masaa mangapi? Pia mimi nataka
If we are ready to Mombasa, if we decide we're going to Mombasa tomorrow, it will take us longer than the cars. Because tutaenda Machakos Junction tusimame, the picture.
Yeah.
We never ride as in directly to Mombasa. Yes, it can take you 4 hours, but that is, if you have something to do, no one ever does that.
Yeah.
We enjoy the ride.
Because
for me,
that barabara iko na gari pia.
Barabara iko na gari.
Barabara iko na some very funny characters as well.
Traffic.
It's not like it's just empty sasa kutoka hapa mpaka coast.
Utapata punda. Random punda just pass.
Especially
or tortoise. Kama hujaipatana na
third world country.
Barabara.
Yes.
You understand how dangerous that thing is.
And how expensive is it?
To
being part of this thing, being part of this whole thing.
Where do we start?
It is
in terms of preparing.
No, you're right.
Getting the right bike.
Yeah. So what happens is this: for gear, I'll give you an example for just basic gear, which a lesson I learned when I started riding. I bought a bike, then forgot about gear, which happens to all of us, I think, when we start. So by the time I was buying gear, I found out that at the 50,000 I had, thinking that is enough, wasn't enough.
That's for gear.
That was only.
That was, you see what he just said. Yeah. Apparently, gear for safety gear is very expensive. That's why you don't see border guys with safety gear. And the helmet they have is not on. It's very substandard. Let me just say the truth. That one is not even cabs. There's nothing there. That is a bucket that will not do anything on high impact. But generally, gear is very expensive. Biking in general is very expensive.
Lifestyle is expensive.
Watu wanasemanga mna save mafuta. That is the only thing I save. Everything else,
January.
I pay for everything else.
Can I talk?
Ni sawa, ni sawa.
Wacha niongee hapa.
Ongeza.
Ongea kutoka.
Ile shida iko. Ile shida iko hapa. Hapa. You're talking to big boys. And good
Big.
girl. Ash is good girl. Big boys are already thinking big bikes. I think about that person who wants to start riding today.
A simple one
Wacha
for me.
niwaambie.
Oh, yes.
There is hope for them.
True.
Nastaki
We
ile
have
anakaa
people.
boda boda.
No. We have cheap bikes. Good cheap bikes.
I think the best
From
word is
150
affordable.
Affordable, yes.
We have
It is
affordable
yeah.
bikes.
Yeah.
We have people who sell second-hand gear which is affordable. Kuna msea kwenye stadium,
Very
kuna mtu
good.
ako hapo Globe, kuna mtu ako hapo South B.
True.
Second-hand gear hata nini utapata Kikomba. Good gear.
Yeah.
So let's not discourage those people who want to start riding. Especially these 20-year-olds and nini. There is hope, by the way. What they're talking about is now when you're getting into the bigger CC bikes.
Yes.
You can't be
And we
wearing
do not
this.
encourage you to start riding today. Uko na MT-09 ama 1300 zitakuua.
Do not try.
Start small.
And nataka Samuel. When I'm watching the races in a river somewhere different, kuna zile terms nasikia, sijui huyu anaendesha 300cc, sijui anaendesha 15, sijui ana compete na mtu anaendesha 800cc, so different speed. Huyu ameshinda because he's using 800 and the other person is using the 400. Maybe you can break down the terms in terms of the cc and everything.
I think it's all about the power, the consumption, and the horsepower that the bike can give you. We have from as low as
150. Sikuna box
under 50. We have 50 cc's. Yeah, we have 50.
75cc of
Let's put it at 50 cc's.
Yes.
All the way to currently where we stand. There is an 1800 and is it 23 and 2500 cc's. Now those are way bigger bikes. So the graduation that Chua is mentioning is we do so like for example the boda bodas range between 75 cc's and 150 cc's. Most bikes range there. For private bikers, you will see that most people have from 200 cc's going all the way to the top. But we do recommend if someone is starting out, even hata ukienda shule Kenya, you'll be still trained by the 150 cc's. You need to start somewhere. Kama mtoto hakuzaliwa akikimbia, usikimbizane na hizo cc's. Hizo achana nazo. Graduate into it pole pole.
Uliza alianza wapi?
Me, I started with a 223 cc's. It's called as a Demar. I worked kidogo nikaingia a 650, a Suzuki DL650. Kidogo, that's when now I landed into my 1200, the GSA, the adventure bike. You have to graduate from somewhere. Half the time you'll find that even some of the accidents, God forbid that we get to look at, is someone graduated too fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there is no way you are used to
150.
moving at a speed yenye maximum ukifinya zaidi inafika 80 kilometers per hour. The one that we are allowed on our roads to do.
Yes.
And then you find a bike that ukaeza finya by accident. 1, 2, 3 seconds, you're at 200 kilometers per hour. You see that machine becomes your deathbed. Instead of it becoming something that is luxury, something that can relieve stress, something that can, community, we get to ride and enjoy together as a family, it becomes another whole different ball game again.
Yeah.
All right. Amanda, as a girl or a big girl in the motorsport, or rather a lady in the motorsport, any personal project that you have for you to influence more ladies, more girls to come into the sport?
Okay, so let me first touch on the CC.
Sure.
So I agree with them because my daily is actually a 155cc, but on the weekends napendanga stretch miguu na 750. That for me is a big jump. It's not for everyone. First of all, you have to go for the training. I had to go back to school so that I can be confident enough. So do I have personal projects? Yes. I'm actually part of a group of ladies. Sisi ni watu wa magari sasa. So contrary to this,
Okay.
I'm also a lover of cars. So we mostly empower women about car knowledge, the basics, changing your tires, checking all your fluids. That's the same thing even in biking. So that's pretty much the project. It's somewhere here.
That's your project.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to know this. How long will it take for us, Kenyan, to we are the likes of MotoGP, Eco? And what do we need to do to make sure we are in the same level?
Government.
Ama tutafika mahali kama hapo.
Let's start with government.
Can we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can. But let's start with government. We need the legislations, you know. We need also the motorsport to be recognized. You know, most of the races that you come to enjoy, even at Whistling Moran,
Yes.
half of them are privately sponsored.
Yes.
And we would want the government to join in.
Yes.
And you know, help us out when it comes to that end of the motorsport. So and then also, so professionally I'm an architect, and this is something that I'll say. We have enough malls in Kenya.
Okay.
I mean it because we have someone from Bungoma. Livingstone from Bungoma, if you can hear me. Hello, how are you? Ukoaje?
Niko fine.
Labda kuna swali mambo ama unataka kufanyaje?
Bwana, hizi mabike bwana, nauliza, nimesikia ni kama hizi bike competition inakuanga ya hizi bike.
Swali lingine unalo swali lingine?
Swali lingine sina, lakini nilikuwa nauliza tu kama competition inaweza kuwa ya hii bike bwana. Wanatushtua, hata mimi napenda kuendesha hivi vitu sana, lakini sijawahi pata hii kubwa. Mimi ni mtu ya 150.
Sawa, your question will be answered. Ama swali lako litakuwa linajibiwa ina few. Tuendelee mahali ulikuwa in terms of
yes, so I was saying when it comes to, and this covers all the sports actually. We have enough malls. Bana, investors, please start investing in some of these things. We need like a proper MotoGP track. You know, we need I know stadiums, Asita Guzia hapo, there is a lot happening on that end, at least for the guys for football. We need more stadiums for the basketball guys. So in the same way, we need tracks. For motorcycles. We need a lot of tracks, and again, bigger. So for us, the thing is we need large tracts of land.
Yes.
For that to work. So ukiona hizo circuit zenye ziuenda for MotoGP, half of them unakuta msee ameinvest ya 5, 10, 20, 100 acres.
Yes.
That is purely set aside to be able to create this sport. Sasa saizi when it comes to private guys, wewe 5 acres yenye uko nayo ama 1 acre ndio unatry ku create a circuit within it. So it doesn't see kubwa as such.
Yeah,
but
for GP, for go-karting.
For go-kart.
Yes.
Now imagine if you have been to go-kart any, whether it's waterfront or to rivers, all of the malls that have the go-kart. Now pick the go-kart, blow it up like 10 or 15 times. That is the amount of space that we need. Kama kutengeneza barabara ni homework, you know, and again, you need that tarmac. So there is a lot to it, and half of it, for us to get there, it will take the private investors and the government to chip in as well.
Let me take one question. If you can add.
So there's only one MotoGP ready track in Africa, and that's in South Africa.
Yeah.
They're currently not using it, but yes.
Yeah, Lami.
So that's the only one. You can imagine. There's so much opportunity in actually Kenya getting a lot of visibility. We have Safari Rally, Sindo?
Yeah.
We can also be in the same circuit like Formula 1, because the same track that is used by MotoGP can be used by Formula 1.
Yeah.
We are missing out on a lot.
Yeah.
There's so much potential here. I think what they see is what we were talking about, misconception. And
Rwanda is beating us to it.
That's
Yes.
what I was
Rwanda is beating us to it.
So.
One, they have invested in a proper stadium. Iyo iko functional.
Yeah.
Iyo tuondoe. Now they are also focusing, they have an indoor arena. Now that comes for concert, for big concerts and basketball. Iko. Again, washa tuchapa, wako ahead. Now they are investing in an F1 ready track.
And then late last year, they were having the awards.
The awards marked there.
Allow me to add on to that.
Yeah.
I've realized there's information that I have that the community does not have.
Yeah.
We had a biker called Quest. He passed away, road accident, almost 10 years ago. And he had a vision of this track. He was a photographer, he was a bike enthusiast. And where he was buried, the father gave land, 100 acres. So it is there, inaitwa Kinanie, at the river.
At the river, Kinanie.
100 acres iko hapo. We've had meetings, investors ndio shida na
So the land
county
is
government. The land is there. County government approvals, hata drawing iko hapo tayari.
Yeah.
We have people in the MSFK, Motorcycle Federation of Kenya,
Yes.
who are aware of this. So ni hiyo approval, the land is already there by the way. Kama kuna investor, it will be over 200 million to create that track.
Maina from Kirinyaga. Maina, how are you? Nice vipi? Na labda una swali kuhusu motorsport, una swali kuhusu bikes?
Yeah, me, I have 150 for me. You know, for me to join the club, do you have like a club one should join for bikers and, you know, mimi niko poa.
All right. Maina from Kirinyaga. Yeah.
We have representatives all over Kenya.
Mimi fan wa bike, and I have a 150 of my own.
150 cc?
Yeah. I don't mind to graduate. I don't know whether those guys who are. Do you have a team or a club that one can join, maybe to enjoy the trails of bike in Kenya? Is it a club or just on capacity basis?
It's an association.
It's an association. Sawa. Thank you Maina. Wacha tujibu swali. Jibu nani anajibu Maina?
Hapo ndio niko
Hapo ndio hii logo ina come into place.
That's where feedback comes into place. So I told you we have regions.
Yes.
So if he says he's from Kirinyaga, I already know in my head, Alex, who is in Mwea, is the person to contact him and join them. There is Alex in Mwea, there is Kafu in Nanyuki, there is Johnston in Meru. So any of those who are closest to him, he links up with them and they start riding together, even with his 150cc. Bora yes, your boda, he can join us. And he'll be encouraged to upgrade with time. Hakuna haraka.
Yeah.
So there is hope for him. Livingstone swali yake ilikuwa nini? Bungoma?
Bungoma ndio nataka sasa kuingia sasa hivi.
Bungoma alikuwa anasema hii kitu.
Bungoma alikuwa anataka kuingiza the last few minutes alikuwa anaongelea about the competitions that we have. I know we have Slick Flick.
Yes.
I also heard about the Ubuntu competition. We have different types of competition. How many competitions have you taken umenini ngapi?
Competition on rides.
Kuna competition na kuna rides na there's totally different.
Those are
two
very
different
many
things.
Zote.
So
Ngapi
for me,
ukihesabu?
so you'll ask them about the rides.
Ni sawa.
Maybe the farthest I've gone is Eldoret, and it was fun, and I rode my 155cc. So that can show anyone that your bike has the potential. Bora you take care of it. For competitions, I don't participate. I love to watch. I love to see the battle between the big boys. Wale wa from 600 to 1000cc. Yeah. Yeah.
Now we can answer the man from Bungoma now. Livingstone from Bungoma. Ameongelea kuhusu competition.
Most of the competitions we have are in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Kuna hiyo Slick series. There's a Superbike series.
Yeah.
Hiyo inakuanga iko kwa calendar of the year. Mostly it's held at Whistling Moran, pale Athi River.
Okay.
We have Enduro, which is almost every other weekend at Jamhuri Park. Sasa unasikia zile ma 50cc bikes, 75. Now those one even has children who compete in their categories.
That is Ngong Road?
Motocross.
Ngong Road, motocross.
Motocross.
Kuna motocross na kuna enduro.
Yeah.
Enduro is endurance. Unapewa bike, you ride for 3 hours, ni maji tu. Trail hivi. Motocross ni hizo makurukaruka na nini.
Yeah.
Then anything else out of that, haikuangi race, inakuanga ride. We have rides every weekend. There are groups out there that were created just for rides. Unatu wanaitwa Spartans.
There's rides and the races. Different ni gani tu labda.
Racing is for competition. Racing is a competition bit.
And rides
is for fun.
Rides is for fun.
So there's something.
Mtu ana fuel bike yake, anatoka hapa mpaka boda na anarudi.
So that's for fun. That's
As we speak,
Yeah.
I was in Naivasha yesterday twice.
Wow.
We have Ugandan bikers in the house.
Yes.
They've come for our prayer day.
Which
We have
is
something
tomorrow,
called
actually.
Bikers Prayer Day, which is always held on the first Sunday of February every year.
Yeah.
All bikers
At
who
Nairobi
can
Chapel.
make it to Nairobi Chapel in Nairobi, wanakuja. So we have a team of 12 Ugandan bikers who just came for our prayer day.
So they rode from Uganda.
Yes.
Naona hiyo sio race.
Yes, race.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yes, starehe.
And we have also a team of, in fact, part of the founders of Private Bikers Association who are doing a ride around Africa. Unaona venye unaweza chukua penseli uchore hiyo map ya Africa, even all the way. Now they are doing a ride like that
For the
around Africa.
Yeah.
The same way.
Kuna space ya kubeba mtu?
Yeah?
yako.
Because what happens is now, especially the adventure bikes come in handy for that one, because unateremka, munaenda kwa desert, munapiga kambi hapo, unatoa tent yako, unapiga kambi hapo, the next day tena munaendelea, munaingia another country, border to border, that way, and but it has a concept of raising funds for the needy children, for school fees. Yeah.
Inaitwa logos. We had a couple before COVID.
Yeah.
Anaitwa Wamoyo na Dos, Nduthi Mama. They were riding around the world.
They're in
COVID
Across
ndio
all
iliwarudisha.
continents.
They are back.
Yeah.
COVID ndio iliwarudisha.
tutawaleta. Hujataja Ubuntu. Nimesikia Ubuntu.
So Ubuntu is it's a ride that basically it's for everyone. It's a ride that happens once in a year, every January, end of January.
The last
Sunday of January, and it's been running since 2016. Yes.
Yeah.
And basically that is one of those rides that happens once in a year, and it's for all bikers. That means si lazima ukue kwa nyumba kumi, si lazima ukue pibak. Come on a bike, you come.
Yeah.
We give you an opportunity to meet other bikers. Most of the times tuna meet watu tukiwave. The way we wave, we don't know who's the guy behind the helmet. So now we do have that one. It's more of the spirit of togetherness, strengthening the biking community. And it doesn't happen just here. Like last weekend is when we did it. We started at 2 Rivers, and it was happening simultaneously in 18 other countries. From South Africa.
Yeah.
18 other countries in Africa, and then we had other additional countries that were not, the US and Portugal. Yeah. So we had 18 countries in Africa. That is, Uganda were doing the same thing. We're riding to a certain destination. We call it Ubuntu Breakfast Run because it's the first 50 kilometers that we ride together, no matter the CC. That means ukikuja na 150 CC na my 900, I was riding the same space with the 150. We were all riding the same
Pace.
same pace, even though nilikuwa naumia mkono. But yes, we were riding the same pace. But yeah,
That is the concept. Every year, the last Sunday of January, from 9 a.m., all countries get onto your bikes, ride at the same time, then share your videos, just show the unity in each and every country. That's basically what Ubuntu is all about.
And Samuel,
Yeah.
Jazzy, see Jazzy, but shati umevaa.
Yeah.
The shirt,
Called
the shirt that
yeah.
you're wearing is about Bikers Family Fest.
Yeah.
Is it a festival? Is it a fest, or what is it? Talk about it.
So now this is a rare opportunity we have in a year, and it happens in August, for people to see who's behind the helmet. And not just who's behind the helmet, they get to see this person who's a father, who's a mother, who's a brother, who's a cousin to someone, you know, who's a boss as well, who's a friend. Because it is the only ride that we do. Now we do a ride with it, and then we gather in the same place where we get to have a proper festival, where there is food, there is music, there is art going on, there is live graffiti happening, there is a lot, and there is a cookout on one corner as well, and then it climaxes with a proper concert. And we had the likes of Giuliani gracing last year's event, and this year it will be happening in August 16th and 17th. Yeah, it's that one. So it will be happening in August 16th at Waterfront Karen. From now, this one we start it from morning mpaka jioni. Mpaka jioni. And this one you're welcome to come, whether you are a biker or not, whether you are an enthusiast or not, whether wewe ni msee wa magari lakini unaonaga waso bike, unakam na familia yako, because it's a family day.
All right, because of time, we have to wrap up. Now, I need you guys, everyone. I understand everyone has different objectives, different dreams, na pia different types of plans zako, different types of plans. Let me start with you, Amanda.
Yes.
What do you have? What type of objective do you have? What's the plan for you this year, maybe next year, or let's say in the next 10 years?
In regards to motorcycling? or just as me.
Umesema pia wewe ni mtu wa magari, so your plans maybe?
Hopefully grow my family. Yes.
Okay.
Motorcycle, more adventures, because I like to confine myself within Nairobi, but I want to travel as far. I think there's one lady who's part of the Around Africa team. I actually aspire to be like her. One day I will be able to traverse the whole, if not continent. And definitely, yeah, good vibes, I guess, and networking as well. I want to also expand my network and net worth. Yes.
I can even see my sisters texting me. Anasema, anyway, to the young ladies, to the young girls who are watching you, parting shots.
Okay, the sky is not the limit. Honestly, I feel like go as far as you can. Even when it comes to motorcycling, I think there's always that, we have that silence. Whenever me nikiwa kwa traffic and there's a lady next to me, I always see how proud she is. We look at each other and she's like, you go girl. Juu labda yeye, that was her dream. But now that I'm, you know, living the dream, I'm always out there pushing other small girls, women, just to be on those two wheels, because you never know, inakutoa kwa stress sometimes. I tell people, sometimes there are vices in the world, but once you get on a motorcycle, it relieves you of all of that. Yeah.
Eric Muturi.
Yes.
Maybe you have plans and you have objective, you have umejipangia vitu, labda unataka kuown your own company.
No, I do already. So I'll just focus on biking.
Yeah.
I'd want to do something impactful for the biking community. So we are working, me and a few of us are working on different ideas or things that would come into play that would assist bikers in general. So I don't want to go into details, but yes, there's something coming up. Timeline, I can't say. For the rest, I think that's I wish, like everyone else, have plans, growth for business, so that I can get to continue riding. I mean, this thing is not, it's a very expensive hobby. If I may say, it's a lifestyle that I don't know if I can call it a hobby now. It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
I'm telling you, once you start here, hiyo mambo vices zote zingine, naletwangwa shida kila saa. Like, you have to come with a bike for any function. You have to come with why don't you drive? No, I want to ride. That's how it's important. It's tied to me. I do meetings, I try to do meetings with this. So anyway, like I said, the future is bright for, I hope to continue riding if I'm given that opportunity. And I think to 10 years from now and 20.
Samuel Gado.
Yeah. The future holds a lot. There's a project we do together with my wife that spans beyond the family fest, where we are all about getting families settled. You know, that concept of sponsoring one child in a family, and then they end up becoming like the black sheep or the white sheep. Now they are all attention is on them, and then they end up feeling like, you know, my life is working, but why are yours not working? But how we are thinking of how can we get to figure out sponsoring and picking up a family, a whole family, and getting them out of poverty. So that's a project that we've been working on. Professionally, I aim to be one of the best architects in the world. Hallelujah.
Amen.
And one of the visions of that I would like to own that the picture on the screen, you know. Yeah, it looks good.
You are championing Dotwekeo.
Yeah.
Actually, this one.
It's actually
This one, but now these custom graphics. Yeah.
Stickers.
Okay. Chairman, before kuja kwako, I can say good afternoon. I would want to join the sport that you guys are talking about it right now on TV. I'm Shamim. Hajaniambia ni from where, but Shamim, thank you for texting. Chairman, tufungie.
I have a vision of Kenya where we are one happy community. Hakuna wrangles, hakuna makelele. We were mentored. We should mentor. Our future generation should mentor. So my wish is I continue serving the community as I have for the past 12 years or so, and get more people into biking, and touch someone's life.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, someone looks at me and they're like, I want to be a biker like you.
Yeah.
The younger generation, they're like, I want my uncle, I want to be like Uncle Chwa, like that. But for the biking community in Kenya, I want PBAC to grow to a level where iko sawa. We are all over the country. Anywhere you go, hizo maswali watu wanauliza, they know where to go to. Ni kuingia tu kwa website. In fact, we have a website, pbak.co.ke. And for those who are asking how they can get into the community, they can get in touch through our official number, 0792 728 645. 0792 728 645. We also have an emergency number, by the way, here PBAC. If you'll check some helmets and stickers,
Yes.
tunakuanga na emergency. If anything happens to you on the road, you're attended to quick, fast. Also, to encourage our colleagues who are riding around Africa. There is Pastor Nick, Pastor Sam, Havana, the only lady there, Kingori and Leo, and Moses Nderito, the 6 of them. They're riding around Africa as we speak. We pray that wasipatwe na hizo mashida tunasikia kwa every country, everywhere they go, they are supported. Anyone who wants to follow them, there's Around Africa on Motorcycle on YouTube. There's a website, Around Africa on Motorcycle. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now, I think we have done, we have finished to do matters to do with motorsport. But before we take a break, I understand this. Let's talk matters indoor games, because in a country where outdoor sports, you're speaking about football, we're speaking about athletics, also basketball. I understand it's an indoor sport, but here in Kenya, we do it as an outdoor sports. A different kind of competition is quietly taking root, from chess, Scrabble, to even Rubik Cube. Or rather Rubik Cube. These indoor games not only offer mental stimulation, but also opening doors to the international competition. Here, it's a story.